They live in a delusional world. They believe that they are the mask. And this is why you will lose yourself in these entanglements, because you're dealing with the figment of someone's imagination. Pathological narcissists, simply people, are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. The bird has flown the nest. And the bird actually keeps flying very, very, very far away from the nest. The longer they are here physically walking around, they are losing themselves. The light is getting dim and dim and dimmer. Black holes are collapsed stars. It is a star that's shriveled up. It is a star that is dying. It is a star that is at the end of its life cycle. So physically they are alive, but understand that at their core, they are zombies. They're running on about 5% fuel, and this is why they must feed. And understand that a zombie's belly is never full. Cannot be full. They must consume. They are addicts. They are people addicts. They need a narcissistic supply. And this is the attention, admiration, and validation that comes from other people. They need you to boost their ego. And if you don't boost their ego, they get a narcissistic injury. And what is a narcissistic injury? A narcissistic injury is when a pathological narcissist perceives a threat, whether real or imagined, that goes against the grandiose false self, that goes against their ego, the figment of their imagination. Pathological narcissists did not develop a true self. Your I am should be coming from the spirit level. Their I am comes from the mind level. They believe that they are the tool. They believe that they are the mind, so they are losing their minds. And not only are they losing their minds, they are losing their entire souls. They are lost souls. They are dark souls. They have a personality disorder. So what you see manifest itself on the outside in the physical realm as various types of addictions. So understand that every single pathological narcissist is a people addict. Again, they must get narcissistic supply. And this makes them prone to cheating because, again, they need narcissistic supply. They need people's energies because they cannot generate any energy on their own. They abandon the energy supply. They abandon source. They abandon source energy. They abandon spirit. So they're all people addicts, every single one of them. And understand that where you see one addiction, you most likely will see others. Kind of like roaches. They operate in groups. So understand that all pathological narcissists are people addicts, so they are energy vampires. However, they may be addicted to other things, such as drugs, alcohol, pills, meth, opioids, etc. Could be porn. Could be sex addiction. Could be hoarding. Hoarding old stuff, hoarding new stuff, shopping addicts, etc. Again, they must get things now from the external world to fill that gaping hole in their soul, because these people have their locus of control outside of themselves. And understand that your locus of control is the ability to take responsibility for the things that are happening in your life. But pathological narcissists have their locus of control on the outside. They believe that things in the external environment are the cause for the things that are happening in their life. And this is why they will blame you for the things that are happening in their life. Again, the mind must project. The ego must project. It cannot self-reflect. They cannot self-reflect because they don't have a self. It cannot self-reflect. They cannot self-reflect because they don't have a self. They dissociated from the self in childhood. So where does this dissociation come from? Pathological narcissists generally come out of two households. And number one, A lot of them are the golden children in their family system. So they were spoiled, and spoiled children end up rotten. Spoiled children end up rotten. So understand that spoiling is not a good thing. Spoiling is actually a type of child neglect or child abuse. When you spoil a child, you're telling them to connect to their ego. You're telling them to connect with a false self. You're telling them that they are better than others without merit. So these spoiled children end up brats. They do not know how to control themselves because they weren't taught control. They were spoiled. Mommy and daddy did everything for them. So if you got into a relationship with a former golden child, then you will see where they will want to do. They will want you to do everything for them because they are spoiled. That is what they grew up seeing. That is what they normalized, and they did not grow out of this. Again, you're dealing with Peter Pans or Patricia Pans. So you have one type of narcissists that are the golden children that were spoiled rotten. So you're dealing with a rotten adult. Again, you're dealing with unripened fruits. And understand that unripened fruits come from plants that did not get the correct nurturing. They did not get the correct nutrients in the soil. They did not get the adequate amounts of water and sunlight. So they end up in their fullest state. They grew, but they grew unripened. And people understand that if you've ever bitten into an unripened fruit, it is not a pleasant experience. Unripened fruits are like those grainy apples that you find in the supermarket. They taste like cardboard. They taste off. Something is wrong with them. There's something missing. And similarly, understand that you cannot put unripened fruits back on the tree because they're already fully grown. Again, Peter Pans and Patricia Pans. So you have the first type of narcissists that come out of the spoiled, rotten households. So they end up egomaniacs because, again, they were spoiled. So they end up entitled and grandiose. So they don't care about anybody else but themselves. Then you have the other types of narcissists that I describe this as the shameless type of household. They had very dysfunctional parents. So parents that were into drugs, alcohol, meth, opioids, etc. Some of them maybe had parents that were criminals, that were in criminal and illegal activities, etc. So think about the household that have very poor role models, just like the Shameless series. So the children are kind of there running around and nobody was really guiding them in the right way. And similarly, they grew up and mirrored the parents. Monkey see, monkey do. So they ended up just like these shameless, shame-based parents. They are reliving the dysfunction. So understand that while you may be breaking generational cycles or breaking generational curses, every single person is not. Pathological narcissists are reliving the same dysfunctional cycle that they learned in their dysfunctional family system. Everyone is not a generational curse breaker. So as you go through this episode, be reminded not to project your consciousness onto pathological narcissists. A pathology is the study of a disease. It is a disorder. It is severe dysregulation.